Good evening, dear brothers and sisters. We are the Missionary Catechists of the Sacred Heart, a local congregation with a Diocesan Right founded by the servant of God, Bishop Alfredo Verzosa, with Madre Laura L. Mendoza of Lipa City as co-foundress. Catechesis through Christian education and parish work is our main apostolate. A few days ago, I came across this short story, which attracted my interest while browsing a 20-year-old magazine. There was this army captain and a meat dealer who were in deep conversation. Suddenly, an elderly woman entered the meat shop. The meat dealer broke off the conversation and asked the woman what she wanted. "I beg for a little meat, but I have no money," was the reply. The captain was amused at the conversation and wondered, "Only a little meat? But how much are you going to give her?" The woman continued, "I am sorry. I have no money. I'll hear mass for you," addressing the meat dealer. The captain and the meat dealer were both indifferent to religion, and so they began to mock the woman's idea. "All right then, you go and hear mass for me, and when you come back, I'll give you as much as the mass is worth," said the meat vendor with sarcasm. The woman left, and when she returned later, the meat vendor wrote in a slip of paper, "I heard a mass for you." He placed it on the scales and a tiny bone on the other side and weighed it. Nothing happened. He then placed a piece of meat. Still, the paper proved heavier. They were beginning to feel ashamed of their mockery, but still continued their game. He then placed a large piece of meat, but the paper continued to hold its own. Annoyed, the meat vendor examined the scales but found it was all right. "What do you want, my good woman? Must I give you a half chicken meat?" He then placed it on the balance, but the paper outweighed it. He made it a whole chicken, but again, the weight remained on the side of the paper. This so impressed the meat vendor that he was converted and promised the woman her daily ration of meat. As for the captain, he left the shop a changed man and became an ardent lover of the daily mass. Two of his sons even became priests. What an amazing story, I tell to myself. Unfortunately, we can see dramatic miracles nowadays. Now, God depends on our faith. That is, we just have to accept Jesus' words, even if we cannot understand how they work. It is 14 days after Christmas Day, the real Christmas, the appearance, the manifestation, the revelation of Jesus to Jews. And we have just celebrated the Feast of the Epiphany, where others called Little Christmas, meaning this feast is to finish what is left in Christmas. That is the manifestation of Jesus to universal church as represented by the three wise men from the East. And on Sunday, 2 days from now, will be the baptism of the Lord. What is common in these celebrations? That God is continuously revealing Himself to us, that salvation is for everyone, that we are all called to holiness. We are challenged to be determined, just like the Magi, who for so many months did not stop in looking for the whereabouts of Jesus amidst obstacles along the way. We are challenged to increase our faith. And faith is not just an endpoint and a lack of doubt. It is staying on the journey and desiring a better relationship with God through nature and our neighbors, just like the meat vendor and the captain in our story, who, after believing, continue to do good to others and to influence others. For the many times that we fail to recognize your holy presence, forgive us, O Lord. In the name of the Missionary Catechists of the Sacred Heart, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.
Christmas comes, what a sun angel, taking our hearts by surprise. Christmas comes, warm us up for a side, lighting the love in our hearts. Christmas is the season of the heart, a time for counting blessings great and small. Oh, Christmas is the season of the heart, and Jesus is the heart of it all. Christmas comes, wrapped like a present, filled with the wonder of Him. Christmas comes, bringing His glory here, telling His story of love. Oh, Christmas is the season of the heart, a time for counting blessings great and small. Oh, Christmas is the season of the heart, and Jesus is the heart of it all. Hear the old familiar carols as the joyous season starts. Joy to the world, the Lord is come to Bethlehem, rejoicing. Bring to Him your heart of love, a heart full of Christmas is the season of the heart, a time for counting blessings great and small. Oh, Christmas is the season of the heart, and Jesus is the heart. Jesus is the heart. Jesus is the heart of it all. Children, we will dream of Christmas morn, and all the gifts and toys we knew we'd find, but we never realized a baby born one blessed night gave us the greatest gift of our lives. We were the reason that He gave His love. We were the reason Jesus suffered and died. The world that was lost, He gave all He could give to show us the reason to live. As the years went by, we learned more about gifts, the healing of ourselves.